My name is Dr. Junie Banerjee Stevens, and I'm very pleased to be introducing the Thrive Children's Resilience Initiative to you. Our video series is finally here, and we're excited to launch it. So before we even get started, my first point that I want to make is I want to thank you. We all want to thank you for the work that you're doing with our community, specifically the work that you are doing with our children. We know that many of you have been on the ground as we navigate the pandemic, recovering from the Camp Fire, recovering from other fires that have affected our community. And we know that you are doing some really hard work. So we want to take a minute to thank you and thank you for continuing to learn more about how you can best help our kids. So the Children's Resilience Initiative is a project that was put together by the North Valley Community Foundation and the Thrive Initiative. And we knew that if we could pool our resources to do more to teach everybody in our community the skills of resilience, that was what was going to lend itself to greater healing. And so this is really what this project was all about. So why a video series? It's easy. We know that our kids need help now. You all are seeing it. You've been asking all of us who have some expertise in this field, like how can we help our kids with their mental health and their resilience? So we wanted to do what we could to give you some information right now that you could use today. We also know that you need support. This is a big factor in being able to ensure that we are helping kids. We've got to make sure that the adults in our community are also supported and doing as best as they can. And also, we know that you all are short on time. And we needed some kind of resource where we attended to the gravity and the importance of this information in a way that was easily accessible for you. So that's why we thought a video series would be a good way to do that. And we were committed to getting you some practical skills that you could use today. That this wasn't something that you had to watch all of the videos before you could get some practical skills. We really tried to embed some practical knowledge in each video module. So what do you get? So in this series, we are going to give you some bite-sized chunks, which are in the form of 5 modules, 5 different video modules. Each module is less than 10 minutes. So it really is truly something that you can watch in a staff meeting, in maybe a professional development session, something that you can just do kind of almost a warm-up to your the meetings that you might be having already. And because we know that this is pretty dense information, that it might be helpful to have something to refer to afterwards. So we also created a discussion guide that you can refer to. So before you get started, what we do want to make sure you know up front is that some of the information and some of the images in the video series could be what some might find triggering. You might see some images of the fire, might have some conversations about childhood emotional trauma. And we know that when that happens, it can bring up some of the images from your own childhood. So we really want you to be mindful before you start watching the videos of what you're about to see. We also really encourage you for that reason to watch with a group, because a lot of times when those images do come up, it can be very, very helpful and supportive to be able to talk to other people who went through the same experience. So you all can talk about how you got through it together. We know that that can be really a big part of the effectiveness of these videos. So we encourage you to have a lot of discussion about how you might use this information in your classrooms, how you might use this information as you talk to peers. And we also want you to have a conversation about maintaining confidentiality. Because like I said, as you start to talk about your own childhoods and things that may have happened to you, you might end up disclosing things that other people might not know about you. And that isn't necessarily a bad thing, but we know that if you can ensure that what you talk about in the group stays in the group, you're more likely to be able to move forward in a healing way. So what is in each module? So in the first module, what we're going to talk about is what is toxic stress. So there are lots of different kinds of stress. And so we kind of give you some models for talking about stress with kids and with other adults. And we're going to be specific about what toxic stress is, and specifically, how does it affect kids' brain development? And then once we understand how it affects kids' brain development, we also want to talk about how we can help kids understand the difference between healthy stress and unhealthy stress, and how do you navigate between the two. In Module 2, we're going to talk about the signs of stress, the specific signs of stress, I should say, in kids, right? As well as the specific signs of trauma in kids. And there can be some differences and some subtleties that are important to pay attention to. So the rationale here is that if we can teach you the specific signs of stress, you're more likely to recognize them, and then you're more likely to do something when you do see them. Then Module 3, what we're going to talk about are the signs of stress in you. Because we know that if you aren't in touch with what it looks like when you are at your limit of stress, it may be difficult to take care of yourself before some of that stress spills out onto somebody else. You've heard the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. So what we're really going to encourage you in this module is to figure out how you can boost your own self-care so you can keep that cup filled, and make sure the tank around you of water is also full, so that when you go to kind of fill your cup, there's also plenty of resources around you that can help. And then in Module 4, we're going to talk about how do we now empower children. So now that we know what stress is and we know some of the ways to mediate the effects of that kind of stress, how do we empower children to take those skills and use them for the rest of their lives? So that's really what we are hoping, is that this isn't just about like, how do I do better in school, or how do I not get into a fight with kids on the playground, but how do I take some of these skills and apply them to all aspects of my life for the rest of my life. And in that way, if we can all be speaking the same language about what stress is and what it does to us and how we can manage it, then we start really seeing a whole community start to change. And that's really what Module 5 is all about. What we are trying to do is set a ripple effect into motion, right? If we can help you figure out how you're going to manage some of that stress and identify the signs of stress in yourself, then you can teach the next person, and they can teach the next person, and so on and so on. So that is really how we'll heal from the inside out. Because our goal here is not only to kind of help you manage the stress for that day, but how do we create more trauma-informed and healing-centered communities? So with that, we want you to know that we are here for you, that we know that a lot of the information in these videos, it's pretty dense and it's pretty intense. So we want you to know that if you have any questions or any concerns or any ideas on how we might be able to continue to offer resources to the community, we would love for you to contact us. So if your team wants more information specifically about stress or specifically about adverse childhood experiences, we are here for you. We have experts who can help give you more information. We also want to know that if you are curious about how to make your own organization more trauma informed, whether it's in a school setting or in an office place, we have some tools and we have some ideas for how you can make some small changes to make your work setting or your own community more trauma informed. And of course, if anything comes up as you watch the videos that makes you wonder, maybe I need a little more extra support, we also have some folks who will be more than willing to help hook you up with folks in the community who can give you that extra support that you might need. So thank you again. We are so thrilled that you have come here and you're curious about this video series. We hope it helps you, and please don't hesitate to contact us if you want more information. So thank you so much.